Saturday's Euro 2024 action kicks off with Georgia and Czechia at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time in Hamburg for Group F play. This is the first ever meeting between Georgia, 75th in the world, and Czechia, 36th in the FIFA rankings. Now, Georgia played their first Euros game ever versus Turkey on Tuesday, and they lost that game 3-1. Turkey scored first in that game. They had a second goal then called back soon after. Then Georgia drew 1-1 soon after that, with Georgia's Makatazi scoring Georgia's first ever major tournament goal. In the 65th minute, though, Güler put Turkey ahead again, which turned out to be the winner. Georgia pushed, attacked in the dying moments, had a shot, an excellent chance that went wide, two players going for the same ball and just shooting that ball wide. They hit the post, had a rebound blocked, and then had a corner kick near the end of the game, and with the keeper out, Turkey took that ball, went down the field, and put it into an empty net to seal the 3-1 win. And it was a wild, entertaining game with plenty of chances coming from both teams. Czechia played Portugal later that day and nearly escaped with a point, as unexpected as that would have been. In fact, they took the lead, briefly scoring in the 62nd minute before an own goal leveled the score soon after for Portugal in the 69th minute. Portugal thought they had the winner near the end of the game, but it was called back offside. But they still managed to get that win, scoring in the dying embers of that game when Francisco Conceição scored in the 92nd minute, coming on just 3 minutes earlier to get the 2-1 win for Portugal. But make no mistake, as tight as that scoreline was, this game was all Portugal. The shots were 19-5, shots on target 8-1, possession 74% for Portugal. The passes 704-257, corners 13-0, and Portugal crossed that ball into the box all day long with 29 crosses. The Czech had the fewest passes of any Matchday 1 team. They also only had 8 touches in the whole game in Portugal's box, which is almost hard to even imagine. And their keeper, Jandris Stanek, made the most saves, 7 of any Matchday 1 keeper. The form of these teams coming in here for Georgia, they are 5-1-2 in their past 8, which is pretty good. Now, even though those aren't all top opponents, they still have scored in 12 of 14 games and 21 of their past 26 as well. That includes scoring at least 1 goal versus Spain in both qualifying games, albeit in 3-1 and 7-1 defeats. For Czechia, the Turkish loss was the first loss for Czechia after 5 straight wins, and that snapped an undefeated run of them of 7 games. They have just 3 losses in 17. They've scored in 8 straight. They've also scored in 16 of 18. Now, Czech have the youngest team in the tournament. Meanwhile, Georgia have one of the teams with the least tournament experience. Georgia has only 3 players on the entire roster that play for clubs in Europe's top 5 domestic leagues. Georgia allowed 1.75 xG per game in qualifying, which was 36th out of 50 qualifying teams and the worst amongst the final qualified teams in this tournament. They were the only team to qualify for the tournament after posting a negative goal differential as well in the group stages. Obviously, that makes Czech Republic big odds-on favorites here at -138 to get the win. Georgia 4-1 outsiders, and the draw being +270. Now, even though Georgia lost and the score says 3-1, they still fought hard versus Turkey. They know they're unlikely to get anything versus Portugal in the final group stage game, so this is basically it from them. Now, 3-1 loss doesn't look good on paper, but they did have 5 shots on target and 14 shot attempts. The Czechs, too, know that Turkey won't be an easy out, and they certainly can't go into match day 3 with 0 points. Czechs should score and likely win. They've been scoring in most games and are clearly the better team, but both teams to score an over 2.5 has also gone 5-0 in Czechs' last 5 games. I think Georgia are capable of getting on the score sheet here. Let's go for both teams to score as the best bet between Georgia and Czechia, coming in at -110 odds.